COVID-19 has come. It is not so fun. We're caught in between. This is not a dream, but we're making it work. We're making it work. Let's get to work. Hello. Welcome to my web series. I am Laura Maxwell, and we're here for Let's Make It Work, or Let's Get to Work. I always forget my own title. Well, I am an awkward host, and I have with me a friend of mine who I am allowed to say is also awkward. So this will be one heck of an awesome awkward episode. But I'm super excited to introduce Meri. I've known her for, I feel like, a decade. That's probably accurate. She can tell me later. And I invited her onto the show because she has kids. She's starting her own YouTube channel. She's working a lot in homeschool and doing DIY stuff at home. And I just thought, man, she's a super cool person that I would like on this show. So, Meri, hello.
Hello. Yes, it's been a decade. It's been a decade. So I think you got everything correct. We've known each other for quite a while. And yeah, I'm now a homeschool mom too. That's kind of odd. Like, I don't like it very much, but it's hard to do do this with kids up there. Like, this is just impossible.
So what is it that you're doing to fill in your days, and how are you coping with being a homeschool mom now?
Kids are smart, so they're done with their schoolwork in an hour. I'm bragging on my children, yes, but you do know my children, and they're pretty smart kids. And they're done, and now to fill their days. And I can't sit here and, like, I think we've talked about this before, like the editing things. When the kids are not here, I love sitting here by myself, editing, being quiet. But right now, I hate it. Like, I do not want to sit here and edit.
So, Meri, you're talking about editing the YouTube films that you're doing. What are they exactly? Can you talk about it?
Well, this is the funny part. It was supposed to, when I started it up, it was going to be about local businesses here in the States, where I live in Perry, Georgia. And then this pandemic happened. So then I started just making weird stuff up on this video, just to kind of get used to being on YouTube and video myself and feel not like self-conscious about it. Really was nothing much more than that. Not a big like business model plan to that, just get out there and do something artistic. And that's what I started. And then I've moved on from there, moved to a podcast that I'm editing and working on, and then another family fortnight. I'm also writing an audiobook. So I got a lot going on, but it's all on a standstill.
Yeah, because of your kids. But what I think is really cool is how you're also using this time to be creative, and it's amazing the creativity output that you keep having, even though you're also homeschooling. And if it's okay, can I mention that, like, last year you suffered a major heart attack, and with autoimmune disease, it makes it difficult some days to work, but you're still just trying to put stuff out there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had a massive heart attack when I was 32, which is like a little over a year and a half ago, and it put me down. It made me heart failure. It triggered, or the heart attack, or one triggered another. I got an autoimmune disorder flare up, and it hasn't really gone away. It kind of is like MS. So some days it's like, whoop, and some days I can be on it, But people feel like I had to work out like every day so I don't shake, and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of hurdles there. And some days I just have to sleep all day. And anybody with an autoimmune knows that some days you're just so exhausted that you can't move. And this creative outlet gives me that extra energy, the same as working out gives me that extra energy, and eating healthy. It's like a whole lifestyle change.
During this corona virus, I mean, what's interesting is your life already changed dramatically, as you said, like a year and a half ago. So how has this pandemic really changed anything, or has it?
I mean, I've had to put a lot of my creative here, what I want to do kind of in a dark personal space on hold because my children are at home. And I don't want to go to a dark personal space while they're here. So I've taken my creative nature and we're moving into homeschool. And if I have time, do something fun for myself like this. So to me, now it has not affected me really that much because I'm just rolling with it. And if you're, I'm an artist. I wouldn't say I'm an entrepreneur really. I'm just an artist. So if I'm not creating, I'm not happy. And I realized that when I was on the couch for 8 months and couldn't do anything at all, was in heart failure, my brain wasn't working, and it made me just boom. If I'm doing some creative, keeps my brain going, and I'm a happier person for it.
So a lot of people, what you find on the internet is that a lot of people are also turning to creative means as a way of coping. Do you have any wise advice for people who are just trying to cope and use creativity?
Well, I mean, I did have PTSD, and I still do from the heart attack, because I had 100% blockage, I almost died. So I had a widowmaker, like the one you're not supposed to survive, whatever. But so I do have a lot of PTSD, and once I was able to get up, exercise actually started it. It made me get those endorphins back up. And then I was like, I don't know. And then I just said, well, I need to create. And it's just been a path that I know I need to follow because it makes sense. So I'm following it to heal. But is it for everyone? I don't know. That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. A lot of the time, I also, I think one of the reasons I got back into creativity again was in a way to heal from what I was going through at the time. And I just started drawing, and I haven't stopped since. That's been almost 3 years. And what I think was really interesting that you started out with to go back with maybe for advice is you said that you just put content out there to kind of get used to what it feels like to put yourself out there, to be judged, to present yourself. You know, how is that going for you? How do you experience that?
I mean, it's fine. I've never really been much of a like on camera type person. I've always liked to be behind the camera. I don't mind people judging my photography, my artwork. So just trying to think of it as that same thing. This is just your creative space. Make it feel safe for you. If people put things out there that you don't like, you don't have to deal with it. Just I have like my own little Zen creative space. And I think I had to create that. Otherwise, I would not be able to do this because I'm just very shy of a person. So, but I'll tell you anything.
Yeah, you're very open, which is why I asked you to do this, because like I mean, you've been through so much and you just keep creating, and I just find that super admirable. And yes, the coronavirus adds a complication to it, but it hasn't stopped you in a way, like you said.
No, no. I mean, I think it has stopped a lot of people, and I can understand that. But my day to day is not much different.
How is it in the as yeah, I haven't talked to many people who are actually living in the States currently. So how is it in the States right now during the pandemic?
I have no idea, to be honest, what it's like out there because I haven't been out there. Because of all my heart issues and stuff, when they said there's a virus, I'm gonna stay quarantined if that's what is advised by the CDC. And I see what others happening in other countries. I don't really care what's going on out there. I'm really just like focusing on staying in here and making this, plant some stuff in the yard and we got some chickens and just trying to make this an experience and not when the kids look back on it and my kids or whatever or I look back on it when I'm older if I make it there and I'm not like, this was a horrible time. I made it into something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just still important to, we need to take our responsibility still seriously. So we need to create that space where we can fill it with hope. I mean, if that doesn't sound too cheesy. And
No.
at the same time, still take our responsibility seriously. Still know what's happening in the government, what the mandates are, what's happening with the pandemic, social distancing, all of that stuff. So it's like living.
Yeah, it is, because I do listen to our president and then my state officials and governor pretty much whenever they come on, because I feel like that's my duty to listen to what's happening. And then I read other news from other countries and not just ours. And I try to actually stay off our media for the most part, and rely more on foreign media in different countries that I prefer, and stay away from American. So I've been doing a lot of Luxembourg articles and stuff that they have going on over there and what guidelines they've been placing and stuff like that to help guide me on what I feel like I should be doing.
Yeah. That's I think that's fair, because it's as an American, I do remember that the coverage was very America focused and sometimes so entrenched in that it's harder to see the bigger picture of what's actually happening.
Exactly. Most people don't look at the bigger picture. We don't see outside media coverage very often on anything. If it is, it's just a split second and that's it. I have no idea what's going on around the world. So luckily, like, I know people around the world, and I'm lucky to know that, and I'm curious of nature, and I ask and I follow and I do what I can, because this is just one narrow view in a big earth of viruses.
That's very true. Very true. Okay, so to wrap it up, what advice would you have to give to people? You've said a lot of very interesting things already, but if you had like one piece of advice to give to everybody, what would you say?
It could be a lot harder. This is not, for me right now, this is not the hardest battle that I've fought. And now if it gets hard, then maybe my mind and situation will change. But right now I'm staying clear and focused, and let's just keep the world running.
Yeah. Stay safe, keep it running.
Right. And you can do that in a smart way. Technology is unfortunately what we have. I mean, I'm not a big technical person. I prefer the outdoors and people and socializing and that sort of thing. But at the same time, I can be a hermit. So this is my hermit time. And when we get out of The Handmaid's Tale, then I will change.
A side note, Meri was the one to get me into The Handmaid's Tale like a decade ago with the book, and now I'm binge watching the series. So thank you very much.
That's been my favorite book since I was 18. Between that and The Stand, I'm living in some kind of alternate reality right now.
Yeah, I think we all are. So how can I support you, by the way, or how can we support you in your creative journey?
I think just by keep creating, we just create and boo, that's my awkwardness right there. And it just all shines upon us. And if we don't create and we don't share, we become, reclusive. Feelings are gone down, Yeah. So you need that emotion. You need to stay focused. You need to stay connected. And I've always thought the best way is through creativity. So,
yay! And
that's my advice.
I think this sound is creation is where the magic happens in general, right?
Yes, this is where it happens right here. So it all just vibes in.
Well, thank you for continuing to create. Thank you for offering the perspective of someone who, is forced quarantined. And also, I know that it's not easy for you to do these videos, to talk on screen and all that stuff. And I'm so grateful that you are making your own stuff and you came on here. So thank you very much.
COVID-19 has come. It is not so fun. We're caught in between. This is not a dream, but we're making it work. We're making it work. Let's get to work.